There's a tremble in the quiet when the night begins to fall, and the frost along the window makes the past look 10 feet tall. I've been tracing every heartbeat that you left behind in June, but the winter caught your shadow, and it hums a haunting tune. I keep asking for forgiveness from a time that never speaks, 'cause the pain we never settled only grows throughout the weeks. These frostbitten memories keep clinging to my skin, like a cold that doesn't soften when the daylight settles in. These frostbitten memories are the remnants of our truth, and they sting like frozen petals from the flowers of our youth. I still feel you in the hallway, where the laughter used to bloom, but your voice became an echo that dissolved into the gloom. If the seasons had a reason for the way they changed the heart, then December must have chosen to unravel us apart. I've begged the snow for answers, but it only knows the pain, and the weather keeps on whispering that you'll never come again. These frostbitten memories turn to ashes in the light, but they bloom again in shadows when the world runs out of night. These frostbitten memories were the chapters we outgrew, but the winter keeps them breathing, even if I'm done with you. You were warmth I couldn't capture, you were fire I couldn't keep. Now my heart is lined in silver, where your promises still sleep. These frostbitten memories are a season I endure, 'cause the wounds we left in winter never learned to heal for sure. These frostbitten memories have a beauty and a cost, for the love that felt so vivid is the love I finally lost. Like frostbitten memories won't thaw for anyone. City streets in late December, blowing shades of silver blue. Every window shows a story, but they never show a few. There were nights we walked together, where the snowfall kissed our skin. Now the cold is all that's left here, with the warmth that once had been. I've been holding every moment like a promise sealed in glass, but the winter keeps reminding nothing perfect ever Missing you under winter lights, with the world dressed up in white. Every sparkle feels like heartbreak, every shadow feels like night. Missing you under winter lights, and the silence doesn't lie, 'cause it tells me how you left me without saying one goodbye. Every snowfall writes a sentence from a story we outgrew, and the footsteps in the distance make me wish that one was you. I've been asking every season if it knows your whereabouts, but the wind just steals my questions till the hope begins to drown. I keep searching for a reason why your heart began to fade, but the season never answers what I never should have stayed. Missing you under winter lights, with the city breathing slow. Every memory feels colder than the frost along the snow. Missing you under winter lights, with the tenderness so sharp, 'cause the world keeps turning Christmas while I'm falling all apart. If the spring could thaw the distance, if the summer could forgive, maybe I would stop reliving what I'm scared to let outlive. Missing you under winter light, as the hours slip away. Every shimmer feels like mercy, every tear a holiday. Missing you under winter lights, but I'll learn to let you be, 'cause the winter's always honest with the love it sets free. Missing you under winter lights. I still wonder if you see me. Snow is gathering on the rooftop, like a secret kept too long. And the fireplace is quiet, 'cause the warmth has come and gone. I've been pacing through the hallway where your jacket used to hang, but the winter keeps on whispering words your silence never sang. There's a cruel kind of beauty in the chill you left behind, 'cause the season has a purpose, but you never made up your mind. Winter stays, you don't, and the cold has learned my name. Every night becomes a lesson in a different shade of pain. Winter stays, you don't, and the truth begins to show that the season never falters, but your love was built for snow. Every morning feels much heavier than the weight of last July, and the window frost resembles all the tears I didn't cry. There were days you felt like summer, even when the skies were gray, but December stole the sunlight when you slowly slipped away. I keep begging for a warning that I missed along the line, but the winter only answers with the hush of passing time. Winter stays, you Maybe summer will forgive, but the winter knows the stories of the life I couldn't live. Winter stays, you don't, and the lesson becomes clear, that the storm is always faithful, but the heart you held was fear. Winter stays, you don't, and the years will come and go, but the season keeps its promise in a way you never show. Winter stays, you don't, but I'm learning how to cope. There's a chill inside the bedroom where your warm breath used to fall, and the blankets feel like strangers who don't know me much at all. Every night I hear footsteps in the quiet of my mind, but the truth is just a shadow that the winter leaves behind. I keep hoping for a reason why your tenderness beautiful, but this season holds the answers that it never lets me win. Mother's cold where you used to hold me, and it settles in my chest like a storm that never passes, one night without a rest. There's a cold where you used to hold me, where your heartbeat used to be, and the winter doesn't pity what you took away. 40. There were summers made of sin, babe. There were autumns full of gold, but December has a tag for reminding me you're cool. Baby, smooth for answer sentence that I never wanna read, 'cause the words feel like a warning that I've lost for once I need. And I wish I didn't miss you. We're something so intense, but the frost has its own logic that defies all common sense. These are cold where you used to hold me, like an echo dressed in white. Every tremble in my heartbeat feels like losing you again tonight. There's a cold where you used to hold me, like a ghost of something warm, and the season keeps reminding, but the love could not trade. up the damage. If the summer can forget, maybe I'll stop pretending that you're still the life I live. But there's cold where you used to hold me, and it's colder every day. 'Cause the warmth that I remember slowly freezes into gray. There's a door where you used to hold me, and it cuts without a sound, for the love that once embraced me as I went to run. If there's a cold where you used to hold me, there's a cold where you used to hold me. Snow keeps settling on the pavement, like it's learning how to ache. And the coffee tastes like memories that I'd rather not remake. There's a quiet in the hallway where your laughter used to live, and the cold feels unforgiving for a love I couldn't give. I keep wishing I was stronger than the season in my chest, but the winter never listens when the heart is in distress. Without you it hurts in a way I can't explain. Every night becomes a battle, every breath becomes a strain. Without you it hurts, 'cause the warmth is out of reach, and the snow keeps writing stories I'm too fragile now to read. There were days you felt like sunlight, even in the darkest hours. But December came to prove that even love can lose its power. Now the blankets feel like armor, and the rooms are hard to bear, 'cause the silence has a presence, and the cold just wants to stare. If the stars could offer mercy, or the frost could let me heal, maybe I would stop pretending that the winter isn't real. Without you it hurts like a truth I can't ignore. Every step reminds my body what my heart is longing for. Without you it hurts, 'cause I'm stranded in the past, and the season keeps reminding that not everything can last. Maybe spring will ease the tension, maybe summer will forgive, but tonight I'm stuck in winter with the sorrow that you give. And I'm learning how to weather every storm you left behind, even though the cold is honest in a way that feels unkind. Without you winter hurts like a heartbreak dressed in white, and the world feels wrapped in silence till the dawn denies the night. Without you winter hurts, but I'll make it through somehow, though the cold still keeps It's the quiet that betrays me. When the sky begins to fade, all the lights along the window feel like promises we made. Every snowfall paints the city in the colors of regret, and the memories that haunt me are the ones I can't forget. I've been searching for a reason why your warmth became the cold, but the winter doesn't answer it, just watching love unfold. Snowfall on my broken heart covers wounds in silver white, but the healing feels like fiction in the dead of winter nights. Snowfall on my broken heart makes the silence sound like truth, and I swear the frost is honest about what I lost with you. There was laughter in the summer, there was solace in the fall, but December came to sever what I couldn't save at all. And I wonder if you'll see it when the seasons start to change, how the gentle snow is ruthless in the way it rearranges. Every flake becomes a warning, every chill becomes a name, 'cause the winter knows the story of a love without a flame. Snowfall on my broken heart leaves a trail of quiet pain, and the cold becomes a mirror where I say your name in vain. Snowfall on my broken heart feels like time refusing grace, 'cause the wind keeps sketching memories on the corners of my face. If the spring can melt the anger, if the sun can thaw the ache, maybe I'll forgive the season for the choices we both made. But tonight the snow is heavy and the truth is still too sharp, so I'll hide beneath the winter with a bruised and beating heart. Snowfall on my broken heart is the quiet kind of scream where the suffering is gentle, like a half-forgotten dream. Snowfall on my broken heart is a winter I endure, 'cause the pain that comes in silver feels delicate and pure. Snowfall on my broken heart falls softer than before. There's a chill across the window where your breath once used to be, and the night has gotten quieter than the sound of losing me. Every shadow feels familiar, like it followed you back home. I keep tracing all the places where our warmth had once been sown, but the season holds its secrets in the corners of the street, and the winter keeps on telling what my heart can't help repeat. When it whispers your name through the wind against my skin, every snowflake takes me back to the love we lived within. When it whispers your name like a promise left undone, and I swear the nights get colder when the story's overrun. night becomes a witness to the love that never died. When it whispers your name, but it's not a prayer for me, it's the echo of a promise that I wish would set me free. When it whispers your name again and again. Snow drifts down the boulevard where we used to spend our days. Every step is full of memories I can't seem to walk away. All our photographs are quiet, they speak in little sighs. I keep staring at our winter through a glass of last July, and I wish the world would soften, but December never does. Just whispers all the reasons why I lost the things I love. It's December without your love, and the cold won't let me breathe. Every night I beg for answers, silence won't relieve. It's December without your love, where the lights don't feel as warm, or the joy is just a moment that I barely can afford. There are letters on the counter that I've never found the words for, and apologies unspoken that I still keep in a drawer. I keep wondering if you miss me when the snow begins to fall. Well, if winter feels much kinder when you're not with me at all, and I try to keep my promise to let go without a fight, but my heart is still a season that belongs to you and night. It's December without your love, and the days all feel the same. Every morning tastes like morning, every morning sounds like play. is a burden I still bear. Maybe time will melt the winter. Maybe spring will let me heal. But tonight the clock is frozen on the things I used to feel. It's December without your love. My tears don't wanna dry, 'cause I'm learning how to weather what you left behind. Goodbye. It's December without your love, but I'll make it through the year, even if the frost reminds me you're no longer standing here. December without your love cuts deeper every year. I remember how you laughed, used to thaw the cold inside. Now December feels much harsher, with no place for me to hide. Every sweater feels much heavier than the silence in this room. Even coffee tastes like memories of a love that bloomed too soon. I keep tracing all the reasons why your heart began to fade, but the truth is just a season that we never learned to save. When the warmth disappeared, I was left with empty hands, trying hard to hold the pieces of a life we couldn't plan. When the warmth disappeared, I could feel the end draw near. Now I'm learning how to breathe through all the cold that keeps me here. There were days you felt like summer, even when the sky was gray. But the light that touched your shoulder slowly flickered out one day. And I begged the clouds for mercy, just to keep you one more breath. But the sunset took its time and left me grieving while you left. And I wish I didn't love you with a heart that wouldn't break. But the winter only teaches what the summer couldn't take. When the warmth disappeared, I could almost hear you go, like a quiet kind of heartbreak that no one would ever know. When the warmth disappeared, it was more than just the year. It was everything you promised that your silence made unclear. Tell me, was it always fading? Did you know before I did? Were you already in autumn while I stayed in spring to live? When the warmth disappeared, you became a different truth. I was clinging to the summer, but the winter clung to you. When the warmth disappeared, I was colder than my fear. But I learned that love can vanish when the warmth disappears. disappeared, I stayed here. Snowflakes settle on my window like the tears I never shed. All the words we left unfinished still get spoken in my head. Every blanket feels too empty, every room too loud to sleep. I keep holding on to echo of a love I couldn't keep. I pretend that I don't miss you, but the cold cuts through the light, and the silence of December is the hardest place to hide. Winter nights break me when the world's gone quiet, and the dark reminds me that you're not beside me. Winter nights break me 'cause they know your name, and I wish I didn't love you, but I love you all the same. Every corner wears a memory, every night betrays my sleep. Even dreams have turned against me, all they do is make me weak. I keep asking for forgiveness from the ghosts we used to be, but the calendar is ruthless, turning pages without me. If the sun could melt the reasons why you walked away for good, maybe spring would bring an answer that I never understood. Winter nights break me when the world stays frozen, and the warmth you took with you feels like something stolen. Winter nights break me 'cause they know the truth. Every star in midnight silence feels like shining through. If I had another season, would you choose to stay the same? Would you leave without a warning? Would you give me back my name? 'Cause I'm tired of being broken by the winter in my chest. I'm still living in a story you already laid to rest. Winter nights break me, but I've learned to let them ache. Maybe healing isn't mercy, maybe heartbreak's meant to break. Winter nights break me, but I'll live another dawn, even if the cold reminds me that you're never coming home. Winter nights break me, but someday they'll be gone. Winter nights break me, but someday they'll be gone. Winter crept into my window like it knew you wouldn't stay. Frosted glass and quiet echoes where your laughter used to play. Every coat I put around me feels like armor for the pain, 'cause the cold knows all my secrets and it whispers them again. I've been tracing constellations on the fog of where we were, but I can't rewrite the season if you won't return to her. I was loving you through the freeze when the world refused to breathe. held your heart inside my hands while mine was trembling underneath. I was loving you through the freeze, even when you grew so far. But you left me with December, sleeping heavy on my heart. Streetlights wait in silver silence, where our promises were born. I replay your every heartbeat like a song I cannot warn. And I wonder if you feel it when the winter cuts too deep, or if warmth was just a language only I was meant to speak. Snow keeps falling without meaning, and I stand here trying not to break apart beneath the season where I still belong to you. I was loving you through the freeze while you melted into air. Every touch was just a moment that you never planned to share. I was loving you through the freeze till my breath turned into glass. Now I'm left with frozen pieces of a love that couldn't last. If the sun ever forgives us and the thaw begins to speak, will the truth feel like a mercy or a wound that never sleeps? 'Cause I was loving you through the freeze with the softest kind of ache. Held your name like fragile porcelain till it finally learned to break. I was loving you through the freeze, but you wanted early spring. So I'll keep my winter memories and the warmth they'll never bring. Loving you through the freeze was the coldest kind of dream. Loving you through the freeze was the coldest kind of dream. Snow is falling on the city, but it's colder in my chest. Every window shows a memory, I don't wanna see the rest. Your shadow sits beside me like you never walked away. I keep pouring cups of coffee just to make the silence fade. But the minutes feel like strangers, and the nights are never kind. I keep trying to forgive you, but my heart can't change its mind. This is the winter after you left, and the world keeps moving on, but I'm stuck replaying our breaths like a half-forgotten song. My hands still reach for your warmth in the cold you never met. It's a season full of heartbreak, the winter after you left. Streetlights shimmer on the pavement where we promised we'd be fine. Now the promise feels like fiction that I read too many times. I keep whispering your name to the emptiness at dawn. Even blankets feel like strangers now that all your warmth is gone. And I wish I didn't love you, but my chest won't let it go. Every snowfall feels like questions that I'm scared to ever know. This is the winter after you left. holding on, but I'm stuck replaying our breath, like a love that never healed wrong. My heart still aches for your voice. In the quiet you forget. It's a season made of longing. The winter after you left. Maybe spring will melt the truth. Maybe summer will forgive you. But tonight I'm stranded here with the cold you never knew. And I'm learning how to breathe without breathing next to you. This is the winter after you left, and my tears still haven't dried. There are ghosts beneath my sweater, where my hope and heartbreak hide. If I could rewrite December,